Coming up on Bear News.
What happened in Vegas with Bear News did not stay in Vegas.
We're definitely at NAB.
Dunkin' Donuts. It's okay. UNC's lack of urgency is making fraternities leave.
You're doing everything right. You're following the rules. You're doing exactly what you need to. And the school just, waited and waited.
Do you want to be a part of an inclusive program? Unified offers an open mind and inclusive environment.
Keeping an open mind to how we can help others and be inclusive and listen to what other people need.
UNC has you covered next time you needed professional clothing.
I actually found this full brown suit in the business closet.
Do you need help with classwork or even studying for an exam? The Tutoring Center is a space for you.
Get help with really everything that involving your grades and education in class.
Take Back the Night empowered sexual assault survivors to share their story.
Shared here tonight do not end here. We must continue to fight and advocate for change and to create a culture that we want.
A well-known UNC building will be demolished and rebuilt into the new medical school.
Sometimes you have to let go of the old and grasp the new, so the new will be coming and we're excited for that.
Bear News starts now. Good afternoon, Bears. Happy Friday. I'm your host, Sophia Tavanello, and welcome to the final newscast of the semester. Today, I'm joined at the desk by the one and only Drew Peters. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, yeah. How are you doing, Sophia?
I am ready to end the semester, as every college student would say, ever.
I know, yeah. I am definitely ready too, but I'm more importantly ready for this newscast. And I definitely tried to dress up a little bit nicer, and I feel like all of us kind of did.
I think we look really snazzy today.
I think so too, yeah. And coming up later on the show, I'll actually tell you where I got this cool new suit.
Looking forward to it. You ready to get started on this newscast?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Today, Colorado lawmakers approved a bill that would give UNC the rest of the money they need to open the new College of Osteopathic Medicine. The bill allocates $127 million for construction startup and accreditation expenses. It will also give $41 million to a reserve fund. But all of this new funding marks the end for one historic building on campus.
In the heart of UNC's campus stands a building. Weathered by time, this building is more than just bricks and empty classrooms. It stands as a symbol to Northern Colorado's history, education, and all the lives it's touched. This is Bishop Blair Hall.
Named in honor of retired professors Ralph Bishop and Elizabeth Layer, the hall stands as a lasting tribute to their impact both on the university and the surrounding community. Back when the university was known as Colorado State College, the lab school was first created in Kepner Hall around 1912. However, as the student body grew, so did the need for a larger space.
The new laboratory school would house College High School, Ernest Horn Elementary, and the Special Education School, while also serving as a facility for education majors.
In 1961, construction started on land once owned by prominent Greeley banker and community leader, marking the new chapter in the university's history, West Campus. The building was carefully planned to ensure that every room would be used throughout the day, considering the needs of special education students who may face challenges with stairs. A closed-circuited television system also allowed college students to observe lab activities without disturbing ongoing classes. The original concept for the building revolved around the library. It was designed with separate sections for elementary and secondary students, ensuring efficient service by the same librarians to both groups. In total, the library held an impressive collection of 15,000 books. In the center of Bishop Blair, there was an open courtyard which contained a small pond and a natural habitat for small animals and plants. Adding to its charm, the courtyard also had a tropical greenhouse.
And we were able to put rabbits and snakes and turtles, and we had a little pond that we put koi fish in.
Another unique feature of the building are the classrooms. They both have inside and outside entrances, which allow these balconies to be additional classroom space.
Every classroom had been specifically adapted to serve a specific age group. For example, the counters and sinks are positioned at heights suitable for students. Chalkboards are placed throughout the classrooms, expanding teaching areas. And additionally, the lunchroom served as a dual purpose, accommodating homemaking classes held in small classrooms located on the sides of the walls. In September of 1961, as construction continued, plans were made for the elementary and secondary students to start transitioning to the completed sections of the building. By May 1962, construction of the building had been fully completed with an investment totaling $2,100,000. At its dedication, the Bishop Layer Hall was called a critical asset to Colorado's educational structure. Dr. Harold Haswell, Director of Higher Education Program Branch, talked about the ongoing teacher shortage and the need for qualified teachers.
This school would play a significant role in shaping the future of education in Colorado by providing in-class experience to 10,000 beginning teachers, improving educational quality and relieving overcrowded classrooms.
In the year 2000, the university planned to cut funding from the lab school, sparking outrage among parents who felt betrayed. Negotiation followed, with parents asking for another year to find alternatives. Despite these efforts, the lab school closed down a year later, and Colorado legislators approved UNC to renovate the building.
We were sad about it because we were going to send our kids to school here, and we're hoping that they could come to this building, but actually they went to UH, but it was out at the new building.
The Bishop Blair Hall was initially intended to become the university's main student center, where offices like financial aid, dean of students, and various multicultural centers would be placed. But the proposal faced backlash over students believing it downgraded their individuality. Afterwards, plans for the renovation fell through, leaving Bishop Blair empty for years.
We keep very minimal heat in the wintertime and only do rounds basically to make sure something bad hasn't happened.
Over the next couple of years, the building had gained a reputation of being filled with asbestos, paranormal activity, and even tales of a homeless man living in the ceilings.
I can tell you I've come over here by myself a lot, and it can be spooky. I always have my flashlight, and if I'm feeling spooked, I have a knife.
In recent years, the Bishop Blair Hall has found a new purpose as a training facility for the UNC Police Department, providing resources for tactical scenarios and emergency response training.
We've done some training with less lethal rounds, which is commonly called the beanbag rounds.
Additionally, the building has become a storage space for various university departments and sports teams. The gym now houses equipment like old helmets, batting cages, and various golf supplies, while the theater department uses the auditorium for storing old set pieces and props from past UNC productions.
And we store any usually large items that we don't have room for in Fraser. So furniture, larger props, like big pieces like chairs and tables.
With the need for healthcare professionals rising, UNC has begun a new initiative to expand its curriculum by establishing a College of Osteopathic Medicine at the university while putting the storage building to use.
It's long overdue.
Plans for the new building is expected to be placed where Bishop Blair is currently located. The structure isn't suitable for a new learning environment, and it'll be demolished and rebuilt as a part of the new project.
You know, it's a lot of good memories, but if it's going to be put to good use, like the med school, I think it's a great thing.
We're excited about the new building, but also kind of sad. This is an old building, and it's been here for a long time, and we've done a lot of things here, so it's a little piece of our home, but sometimes you have to let go of the old and grasp the new. So the new will be coming, and we're excited for that.
Osteopathic medicine prioritizes the management of the entire person rather than just the symptoms. Its focus lies on preventative health care. With bipartisan support from the state, UNC is expected to have its first class of students by fall 2026.
For many, Bishop Blair Hall wasn't just a school. It was a place for long-lasting memories, growth, connection, and love.
Here, students found a supportive community, dedicated teachers, and a building that fostered both academic excellence and personal development.
These are my best memories in this building right here.
It was really, I think, important that we had a laboratory school for the training of teachers, and I enjoyed working with the UNC students a lot when I was a student here, and when I went through the education program here, I came back and did some work here at this school as a graduate. That was really special.
As we say goodbye to the lab school, we recognize its lasting impact on countless lives as students and teachers who's walked its halls. From Bear News, this is Tatiana Williams.
Thank you, Tatiana. That was quite the history lesson. What do you say about that?
Yeah, I didn't know that Bishop Blair has been used for like so many different things. I do remember actually going to it for COVID testing during our freshman or sophomore year, but yeah, that's the only time I think I've ever been over there.
Well, that's quite a first impression. I have never been there. So that's my history. So once again, thanks, Tatiana. I actually really like seeing the inside of it. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, except for the graffiti was a little bit scary sometimes. Some of them were saying some questionable things, but who cares?
Who cares, right?
All right, speaking of things that are historic, the Bears Gate organization went out to the Outlands Crown tournament this past Saturday. Throughout their time there, the club members were dressed up in Renaissance clothing.
I am wearing garb. I have either made most of this myself, or I have had people give their old garb to me. But they have a loaner garb there, so you can show up in like a Renaissance fair outfit, or you can just like borrow an outfit, and then you get to wear outfits, hang out, talk to people. There's a lot of people involved, and just have a good time.
They had their own table, and the club members were preparing for the evening royal court. During the evening royal court, the club was recognized by the king and queen of the spring fair. It was announced that the club was officially accepted into the SCA organization. Even though it was a chilly and snowy day, it didn't stop the dedicated Renaissance enthusiasts from attending the event. It seemed everyone was having a good time and are excited for next year's Outlands Crown tournament.
A few weeks ago, I visited the SOAR office to get a peek into what makes SOAR so special. This week, I traveled to the other side of that office and got insight into the tutoring center here at UNC. The University of Northern Colorado offers various types of academic support. The Division of Student Academic Success houses the Tutorial Center, which is free to students to use.
It's something that they can come use and either trying to go over the material in a way that they might not have understood it.
Melissa Hoffner, the Director of Tutoring, encourages students to utilize the tutorial services.
You should come because you want to maintain those grades, but if you are struggling, it's also good to come in so you can figure out where you're at and start moving from there.
The Tutoring Center offers one-on-one and group sessions with tutors during the day and at night. These tutors have taken the classes before and offer peer support.
All of the tutors are peers, and that's really unique that students can come in and get extra help, not from a faculty member like a TA, but actually a peer.
Everyone should come in if they feel like they need help with any topic and they're not able to make it to their professor's office hours.
It can be intimidating to ask questions in class and even just to go into a professor's office hours and ask them questions because it's not something we're used to doing, and it's way easier to talk to someone, who's your age.
Gives them a way to get support that they might not be comfortable in asking their faculty member for.
Our students here at UNC are receiving help from their peers. I think sometimes having that peer-to-peer assistance helps alleviate some of the imposter syndrome. It helps alleviate some of the uncertainty about certain classes or professors or even the degree choice. And I think having a peer that's there to help guide them and say, yeah, you know what, I struggle too, it's okay.
Although the Tutoring Center offers over 150 courses with multiple tutors available, connecting to students in a welcoming environment is the ultimate goal.
Building connections with people allows me to know how people think, like what is it that they're concerned about, what is it that they want to know about, and that way I can better help them with study habits and better help them with understanding content.
I'm able to build a connection with them, and it doesn't then just feel like, oh, I'm just here because I'm going to help you. Like, oh no, you learn by asking questions, right?
Even though tutoring is offered for academic support, the faculty and staff offer a welcoming environment and want students to know that getting help is okay.
Come and get help with really everything that involving your grades and education in class.
Ask for help. Don't do the unnecessary struggle when we have support services available that are free to our UNC undergraduate students.
Just give it a shot because you're very likely to at least learn something.
I think a lot of people maybe don't know about them, so then they don't get utilized as much.
Because that's what we're here for. UNC, we're trying to make sure that we're here to help the students succeed.
Assistance in academics, personal support, and getting help in a welcoming environment is all offered at the Tutoring Center. For more information, visit L149 in Michener Library. Speaking of tutoring, have you ever been tutored?
No, I definitely could have used it freshman year though during stats because I'm pretty sure I got a C in that class, and math is not my best subject.
It's not mine either. I probably should have done it for algebra, but that's algebra and I can ignore it now, so I'm good with that.
It's all right, yeah. We're journalism majors, so we don't need math.
No, we just need to know how to read and write.
Yeah. And with graduation coming up, I'm sure a lot of you are looking for some more formal attire. Maybe it's for that big job interview coming up, or just for some cool senior pictures. Well, UNC School of Business has a place where students can get dressed for success. When you're in Kepner Hall, one of the first things that you might notice is these weird runes in the middle of the building.
Well, would you believe that there's also an entire business closet downstairs?
What are you doing here, Shelly?
I'm heading to the professional attire closet. Come on.
Okay. The professional attire closet at UNC began as an idea to help increase students' confidence at formal events. In 2019, it became a reality when racks were installed and donated clothes filled the room in Kepner. From dress shirts, slacks, to sports coats.
From blazers to dresses and even heels, students can find anything they need at the business closet.
Not to mention in any size. Student Mackenzie Kuhn learned about the closet her sophomore year and decided to take advantage of it.
I thought I'd just go take a look, and I found a really cute shirt in there, and I was like, wow, this is just a bunch of free stuff that I can just come and grab whenever I want. So that was pretty cool.
The closet even came to her aid when she needed it most.
I actually found this full brown suit in the business closet. I was I was competing in a competition, in an HR competition, and I needed a suit to wear. I needed some professional attire, and I didn't have like a full coordinated thing. And so I walked in, and it was like one of the first things I saw was a matching suit, and I was like, oh, let me go see if that fits. And I tried it on, and it fit perfectly, and I knew it had to come home with me.
We'll take it.
And just like Mackenzie, Shelly and I found some business attire of our own. Well, I'm my new suit.
And I got some new shoes.
And if you want new clothes like us, you should come to Kepner Hall at the Advising Center anytime from 8 to 5. I'm Drew Peters.
And I'm Shelly Schwartz with Bear News.
See you next time.
I definitely think you and Shelly dressed for success there. Good job.
Thank you. Yeah, that's actually, like I was saying earlier, where I got this nice new suit. And you should do the same, Sophia.
I should. I would think I would look dashing in some red.
Yeah. Red statement suit would be nice.
I think it would be. Well, coming up after the break, the fraternities are saying goodbye to UNC.
And put on your dancing shoes, reporter Carmen Machuca visited the Dance Alliance Club on campus.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. The moment I chose hope was when I couldn't look myself in the mirror anymore. I did not recognize myself. Absolutely. So I'm so proud because I did not think I was gonna make it. And now, I get to call my mom and say I love her. I get to teach my son how to say, Mama, I love you. Yeah. So for me, hope in this moment, it is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay. Judy.
Students familiar with Greek life may have heard that UNC recently went from having 4 affiliated social fraternities to 2. But there used to be even more. Reporter Shelly Schwartz took a trip to the frat houses to find out what's going on.
During the final week of March, the University of Northern Colorado said goodbye to 2 more of its Greek life organizations.
Pi Kappa Phi and Pi Kappa Alpha, known more commonly to students as Pi Cap and Pike, joined a growing list of fraternities who are no longer recognized by the university.
At this time, it is unclear as to why both organizations left the university, but they both seem to do so on their own. Bear News reached out to Pike and Pi Cap for comment, but neither were willing to.
While those organizations left on their own accord, many before them did not leave on their own terms. Sigma Chi, Delta Tau Delta, Delta Chi, Alpha Kappa Lambda, Sigma Lambda Beta, and Tau Kappa Epsilon are among the many fraternities that have come and gone at UNC.
So what's happening to all of these fraternities? Are they leaving on their own? Are they getting kicked off of campus? Largely, it seems to be the latter.
Prior to the departure of Pike and Pi Cap, the Delta Chi fraternity was holding its own as the only active, non-affiliated fraternity on campus. UNC stopped recognizing them in 2022 under what members call unfair circumstances.
During Delta Chi's fall 2021 formal, a member of the fraternity allegedly sexually assaulted a woman at the event. Although no accusations were made during the formal, upon returning home, executive members were alerted to the situation. President at the time of disaffiliation, Brandon Alexander, says that they immediately took steps to rectify the situation.
We were definitely owning it. I reached out to the school, I reached out to national. It's hey, this happened at our event. Let's make this right.
Delta Chi leadership also made the decision to remove the accused member from the fraternity.
Delta Chi Vice President Matthew Truesdale says the group thought they were taking the right steps.
We were thinking okay, good, we're doing everything right. We're following the rules. And our HQ is saying, yeah, you guys are doing everything right. You're following the rules. You're doing exactly what you need to. And the school just waited and waited and waited.
They waited until right before the fall of 2022, about a year after the original event occurred, to hand down their resolution. Delta Chi was suspended from the University of Northern Colorado.
2 years before Delta Chi's disaffiliation, Alpha Kappa Lambda found itself on the chopping block, but for a much different reason. On the corner of 8th Avenue sits a house that once witnessed quite the commotion when one of its pledging members showed up after ingesting multiple tabs of acid.
The Greeley Police Department was called to the house after 19-year-old James Adam Pike began trying to fight members of the fraternity. According to reports, he tried to bite a police officer in the groin during arrest.
Alpha Kappa Lambda alumni Benjamin Cotrello says that after the incident, UNC was pretty quick to respond.
Basically 2 days after the university hit us with a cease and desist, ceasing all activity, borderline just taking away our chapter entirely within 2 days after the incident.
Following the event, rumors that Alpha Kappa Lambda was a drug-filled fraternity weren't uncommon and were easily backed up by one of UNC's listed reasons for getting rid of the fraternity: use and possession of controlled substances. The investigation that followed occurred in tandem with an investigation into an event that happened the year prior. Members had brought drugs and alcohol to an off-campus event, and although no one was hurt, the inclusion of substances at the event, combined with Pike's LSD-fueled frenzy, spelled trouble for the fraternity. Alpha Kappa Lambda was suspended in summer 2020, but Contrello says the investigation didn't feel fair.
Rather than them trying to figure out the situation, it felt like they had already jumped to a conclusion that they knew was going to be the end all.
Not only did it feel unfair, Contrellos also felt a lack of individual support from the school.
They never really offered any support of any kind to be like, hey, we recognize that this is a difficult time, and we're not trying to get you kicked off campus. We're trying to figure this out. But it definitely felt like they were just trying to kick us off campus.
The lack of support hasn't only extended to the fraternities going off campus. According to Lambda Chi Alpha External Vice President Josh Lau, there's a lack of support even for fraternities that are affiliated.
I feel like a lot of times our organizations are left in the dark about what's going to happen, or if specific things that we have to do to meet requirements for the school.
He says that UNC's lack of urgency is hard on the fraternities.
Those processes and that open communication there just has taken way too long, where we aren't able to function like the organization while we wait for the school to, do their own things.
So instead of waiting around for UNC to finish investigations that in Alpha Kappa Lambda and Delta Chi's case took months, organizations are simply leaving. But without a university to police the fraternities, what's going to happen?
According to Truesdale and Alexander, the disaffiliated fraternities will likely develop their own governing council similar to CU Boulder's IFC on the Hill, which encompasses multiple fraternities not recognized by the university. Alexander hopes that without the school by their side, members will be more accountable.
If we get in trouble, if something bad happens here, someone's going to jail. Back when we were with the school, they, in a weird way, protect the perpetrators.
While Pi Kappa Phi, Pi Kappa Alpha, and Delta Chi figure out this new frontier, it is uncertain whether the remaining recognized fraternities will continue on as normal. It seems that way for Lambda Chi Alpha, who Lau says will not be disaffiliating anytime soon. While the future of the fraternities is uncertain, a UNC representative said that national organizations often approach UNC about starting new chapters on campus. With Bear News, I'm Shelley Schwartz.
Bear News reached out to UNC for comment about the fraternities feeling targeted by the university. A UNC representative told us that UNC's Office of Student Engagement acts based on issues and concerns that are brought forward. We're here to support every student on campus and appropriately investigate concerns that are brought to our attention. If you'd like to hear a follow-up story on this, check back in during the fall semester. The culinary landscape shook things up as UNC was taken over by multiple chefs looking to win bragging rights in a battle of the barbecue. The first annual Rocky Mountain Cook-Off had students and faculty filing into the West Campus lawn to dig in. UNC, University of Denver, Colorado School of Mines, and CU Denver all competed to win the inaugural championship. This is the first time 5 schools has had the opportunity to compete against one another. The chance to be in the cook-off came with one phone call. University of Denver chef Jason Janovic was one of the chefs who answered that call.
So everyone made sure we weren't kind of doubling down, doing the same thing as each other. And then we kind of worked out the logistics of time, when we're meeting up, all of that fun stuff.
UNC chef Quinn Ehrman hopes the event continues in the future.
This fun event and also keep the community involved here at UNC. So I'm excited to do it again, and I want to do it more often. So yeah.
After votes had been cast, UNC came in second place, only 3 points away from champions CU Denver. Drew, are you a big barbecue guy?
That's a good question, Nathan. I honestly could not tell you the last time I've been to a barbecue place. I think that I liked it the last time that I did, but I'm kind of more of a seafood and Mexican food kind of guy, I guess. What about you, Sophia?
I really like barbecue. I grew up on barbecue, and shout out to Georgia Boys Barbecue. I love their brisket.
I guess I'll have to check them out.
You have to. Highly recommend it.
All right.
Are you interested in dancing or want to learn how to dance? The Dance Alliance Club can help with that, as they want their club members to feel comfortable growing not only as dancers, performers, and choreographers, but grow as people as well. To join, students do not need a dance background.
I've taught people who have never stepped inside a dance studio in their life before, and I've also taught people who have been dancing since they were like preschoolers or younger.
4 to 5 officers put together a short piece of dance with a theme. Usually it depends on what officer is leading and what dance piece they were working on. Jessica's dance style is tap dance and is working on the last concert of the year called Jump.
The Dance Minor Capstone has some minor involvement from the Dance Alliance officers. We are encouraged to participate, but that is the senior dance minor students get together and put on their very own dance concert with higher production value than the Dance One Act.
The Dance Alliance concert is this Saturday at the Campus Commons Performance Hall, and admission is free.
Well, if it's free, I might actually have to go and grab some because I am a horrible dancer. But Sophia, I know you recently had the chance to do a story about UNC's goal program.
I did. It was a lot of fun, and I actually really miss hanging out with them. They were really sweet.
Yeah, well, reporters V. Gutierrez and I had the chance to talk with another inclusivity-focused club here at UNC. The University of Northern Colorado has a diverse selection of inclusive higher education programs, one of which is the UNCO Unified Club.
I love Unified. It has been a part of my life for as long as I can remember. I just love the inclusivity of it and how many meaningful friendships that you make throughout the club.
I would have to agree with that. It's really special to come here and see everyone participate together. It's just so inviting and loving, and it's awesome.
It focuses on bringing together those who may or may not have disabilities to play sports and hang out together. They play basketball, flag football, and even host events such as craft nights and holiday parties.
We've started partnering with ARC, the Adult Recreation Center in the community, so that's where a lot of our athletes or individuals with disabilities come from. So it's been really, really great to have that partnership with the community and feel like we're making a bigger impact outside of just the campus.
Unified has been a place for many involved to explore new adventures and get out of their comfort zone. Others have created lifelong connections that couldn't have happened otherwise.
Oh yeah, everyone's been really fun to hang out with, and it's just been really fun to see how the friendships would grow throughout the season, even through the competitiveness.
Everybody on my team is my best friend because to connect together to show them how to play basketball.
Even with everyone feeling like a family, others are always welcome to join, but they need to be open to everything.
By keeping an open mind, being supportive, and I think really keeping an open mind to how we can help others and be inclusive and listen to what other people need and make them feel seen, make them feel celebrated and heard, and all those great things.
Who knows? You might get more than you expected out of it.
A lot of times they sign up because they think, I'm going to do good for, this is like a good deed that I'm doing, or like a service or a volunteer kind of thing. And it really ends up being so much more than that.
I'm Drew Peters with Bear News. Wow, some of those athletes could run circles around me, or I guess throw circles around me since football is more their thing.
2 weeks ago, UNC students and members of the community joined together for a special nighttime walk around campus. Reporter Adam Johnson took the time to see why this walk was so important.
On April 11th at UNC's Garden Theater, members of the community came together with Take Back the Night. The event includes a nighttime march around campus, a time that some consider dangerous. By doing this, survivors of gender-based violence are able to reclaim their power and autonomy in a safe and supportive environment.
Show your support, be loud, show people that you care, the people in your life, if you've been through things, make your voice heard.
Participants are given a teal shirt to wear during the march, which is the official color of Sexual Assault Awareness Month. You can also grab a pre-made sign or make your own. There were many keynote speakers, including the coordinators of the ASAP program, past advocates, and survivors of assault who felt empowered to share their story.
Experiencing traumatic events can feel isolating, especially when we may not initially recognize that what happened was traumatic. I encourage you all to take what you feel tonight and place it into advocacy so we may shift the culture to be one of consent, respect, empowerment, and accountability. Thank you.
Throughout the march, you can see the community's support for this cause. Even when it got dark, the glow sticks ensured that everyone was seen. As the march concluded, there was also the opportunity to add your handprint to an annual mural that will be displayed on campus.
If we pretend it's not happening, then the issue isn't real. However, refusing to acknowledge its existence is what allows it to continue happening. The theme Creating a Culture of was created with this exact mindset. We are fed up having a campus culture that does not support and believe survivors, one that instead protects perpetrators. I want to create a culture of change and accountability.
Take Back the Night is an important annual event that unites the UNC community in a shared goal, ending sexual assault on campus. You don't even need to volunteer or march to show your support. You just have to be human.
The words shared here tonight do not end here. We must continue to fight and advocate for change and to create a culture that we want.
Thanks, Adam.
One of the people who helped coordinate this event, Imani Lindberg, is the Assistant Director of the Assault Survivors Advocacy Program here at UNC. ASAP just celebrated their 30th anniversary, actually. They assist survivors, offering resources and a 24-hour crisis response. Reporter Sophia Raymond sat down with Imani to talk about how she was recently awarded Staff Member of the Year.
Imani Lindberg, Assistant Director of the Assault Survivors Advocacy Program at the University of Northern Colorado campus, was recently honored with the Professional Staff of the Year Award.
And it was really awesome to receive this award so early in my career, I guess.
Lindberg's tireless efforts in overseeing the day-to-day operations of ASAP have not gone unnoticed.
Solidified for me that I'm doing the work that I should be doing, the work that I want to be doing.
With a commitment to facilitate the recovery of survivors of sexual violence, intimate partner violence, and stalking, Lindberg has made ASAP a beacon of support.
I have been recognized for the things that I've done thus far, so it's like, what's next? Like, what are those next things that I can do?
She additionally helps facilitate one of ASAP's big events of the year, Take Back the Night, where students and staff march around campus and raise awareness about sexual assault and violence.
And survivor speeches, which were super awesome, and kind of hearing that student perspective. We were able to do a moment of silence. We did our Paint Campus Teal, which we now have that sheet that's hung up in our corners from that event.
For more resources and support, be sure to check out ASAP on the second floor of Cassidy Hall. Sophia Raymond, Bear News.
If you need to take advantage of ASAP's 24-hour crisis line, please check out the posters lined up around campus, inside bathroom stalls, and their website. Thanks, Sophia.
The Dogs and Desserts event at Candelaria was a success. Students took a break and showed up to the event ready to pet some cute dogs and eat some sweet treats. The College of Humanities and Social Sciences and the Student Government Association brought cookies, fudge bars, and ice cream sandwiches for students, faculty, and staff to enjoy. With the week before finals, or also known
a lot of final stress, not necessarily to distract, we can't really take away the stress, but I think it's a way to displace it from being just an overwhelming anxious feeling to being okay, I can socialize, pet some dogs, and get a sweet treat.
With the week before finals, or also known as Dead Week to students, many are busy studying and preparing for finals and graduation. It seemed like everyone had a nice and relaxed time by refreshing their minds with some adorable dogs and some delicious desserts.
After the week, we've got some national news and an update on the TikTok ban.
look nice, don't I?
I see you.
Adding your own flavor to fashion comes with age.
Oh, man, that's the best one yet.
Forgetting how to add doesn't. Finding it difficult to work with numbers may be a sign of Alzheimer's.
Are you okay?
An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one.
High school. Yeah. Hey, Dad. Do you want to talk about what happened earlier?
Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's. Some things come with age. Some others don't.
Sophia, could you imagine not being able to walk the stage to receive your diploma?
Please don't jinx that. I got a year to go. I
I
should be
know.
asking you that question.
I know. Well, I'm hoping that doesn't happen. I don't think it'll happen
Fingers
within a week,
crossed.
but yeah. Well, students graduating from the University of Southern California this spring are going to experience just that. Last night, the university decided to cancel its main graduation ceremony. This follows USC's previous decision to not only cancel class valedictorian Asna Tabasum's ceremonial speech, but all speeches that previously planned ceremony. Tabasum drew criticism over her views on the Israeli-Palestine conflict, specifically social media links she shared on her Instagram. Hundreds of students from across the nation have also been protesting the conflict outside their universities, imploring them to stop supporting pro-Israeli businesses. USC cites these protests and the multiple arrests that have come from them, including the 93 people who were arrested while protesting on their campus Wednesday night, as the primary reason for canceling the ceremony.
The staff of Vermont recently passed a bill regulating the use of ghost guns. And what are ghost guns? Ghost guns are untraceable guns that don't contain a serial number, making them difficult to locate. Law enforcement has pushed for regulation in order to keep the community safe and secure. The bill also requires a background check to go with the serial number to ensure that they're legit. Governor Phil Scott was satisfied with some of the bill, but thinks there should be more changes. There is a possibility of a veto of the bill, and we'll find out in a few days.
In a 4-3 decision of the New York's highest court, the Court of Appeals, overturned Harvey Weinstein's 2020 conviction. The court found that the trial judge unfairly allowed testimony against Weinstein based on allegations that weren't part of the case. Many are shocked of the ruling since the Me Too movement gained traction after the allegations against Weinstein came forward in 2017. Weinstein will remain in prison because he was convicted of sex crimes in 2022 in Los Angeles, California. But Weinstein's lawyers expect this overturning may affect his rape conviction in Los Angeles. They have until May 20th to have their arguments.
TikTok is officially banned in the US. Well, it has 9 months left until it's actually snatched away from American hands. On Wednesday, President Joe Biden signed a law that could ban the Chinese-owned app unless it's sold within a year. However, the law isn't expected to cause any disruption to TikTok, as the legal challenge will cause months of delay in the possibility of selling the app. TikTok has become the trend setter of the world and is used by over 170 million Americans, which is about half the country. Lawmakers argue that as long as the app is owned by a Chinese company, America is at risk of a cyber threat. TikTok CEO Chu Zhiqiu said he's confident TikTok will win in court and that users shouldn't expect issues with the app in the meantime. For more information on this trending story, I usually say check back into Bear News, but as this is the last show, I say check TikTok. Now, speaking of that, Weatherman Sam, what do you think of this TikTok ban? Is that going to affect your weather reporting at all?
Well, I definitely think so, because I don't know where else I'm going to put my little dancey dances on TikTok. I mean, I can't do that on like Twitter or Instagram, but I guess I got 9 months. But currently looking across Greeley, we can see a few little rain showers out in the distance as it's currently 67 degrees. We'll switch over to Doppler radar to see what we're looking at. And this is our few little sprinkles out southwest of Greeley over Berthoud. And we have this rain shower northeast of us as well, making its way down towards Fort Morgan. And rain showers are going to continue this afternoon and into this evening. Taking a look at Futurecast this afternoon, more isolated showers possible to come through and get a little rain on us, and even some thunderstorms potentially coming in tonight as well. But looking at your forecasted highs for the day today, looking nice 68 here in Greeley and Fort Collins and Burlington as well. But tomorrow we're going to be taking a drastic drop in temperatures as it's going to be raining practically almost the entire day. So our high tomorrow will only be 48 degrees and 48 down in Denver, and that's why I got this little thunderstorm cloud behind me, because as we go back to Futurecast radar, Saturday morning, it's going to be dumping all along the I-25 corridor, especially down in Denver and Boulder and even here in Greeley. But Saturday afternoon is when it starts to get a little exciting, as these thunderstorms are all widespread. I don't even know where to stand. There's so many thunderstorms going on, because we have widespread thunderstorms coming over Greeley, but maybe down here in Burlington and Lyman, these thunderstorms could be more severe with hail and damaging winds and potentially tornadoes. But over here in Greeley, just typical thunderstorms. And for Sunday morning, yes, probably going to be waking up to a little rain shower as this rain moves on out of here by Sunday morning. So looking at your 7-day forecast, definitely, looking at our rain totals, our UNC is going to be potentially getting 2 inches of rain, but Denver really hitting them above 2 inches of rain down for Denver and Boulder. But now we will head over to our 7-day forecast, because definitely going to have to stay under that umbrella this weekend, as rain is expected for the entire weekend. But getting into your finals week, it's looking pretty nice, but tracking maybe a little pop-up thunderstorm Wednesday afternoon. But coming up after the break, we'll see what happened in Vegas and finals week.
I wonder if you know that I want the best for you. I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that the big homie needs help too. He can't just rebound from everything. I know you've been grinding.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
But how long will you fight solo? I wonder if you know that we can get help. I wonder why we waited so long. Not wondering anymore. Love, your mind. Let's see how far we can go.
Well, what actually happens in Vegas doesn't always stay in Vegas, right, Drew?
Yeah, that is right. What was your favorite part?
I liked the Canon section of the convention. What about you?
Yeah, I'm a big photography guy, so like the Sony stand, Canon stand, those were all super sweet. I'm not sure if anybody else has seen these on social media, but there was one of those robotic dogs that are kind of like walking around. They look like dogs, I guess, but yeah, they're like completely robotic. That was probably one of the most interesting things that I saw
was interesting.
there.
It was kind of just like trotting through the crowd, and we all just kind of peeked and went, oh, look at that. So that was pretty cool. But last week, a couple students from our very own Bear News program and other journalism classes took a trip to fabulous Las Vegas.
At the beginning of the week, our minds were full of questions. What do you actually do at a broadcast convention? What does it look like? How many people are going to be there? The biggest takeaway? There's a lot of technology out there that we've never even imagined. Cameras that color correct videos as they record, screens that roll up, cameras that synchronize together, and screens that you can smack golf balls into. We messed around with some more familiar tech too. Journalism student Sophia Tavanello says she's inspired by the conference.
It definitely opened my eyes to the possibilities and the what ifs and what I could possibly do with my own skills.
Skills that go beyond the narrow vision of just journalism, according to student Drew Peters.
Something that I saw that I wasn't necessarily, I was surprised to see was just the application of broadcasting in multiple different fields, and just kind of different uses for the technologies and kind of the innovations within those technologies.
Student Andrew Galster left feeling a little better about his future career.
I've seen a lot of technologies that I didn't know existed
things that I never thought would be necessary for a studio that just absolutely are. And I feel like I have a better understanding of the environment I'm going to go and be working in.
Full of new info, we still made room for some silly memories.
Like Scoops, we're definitely at NAB.
We got to see each other outside of our comfort zone.
It tastes like a Dunkin' Donut.
It's okay. We got to see each other in our comfort zones and everything in between. I have no idea what this is. And I think as a team of upcoming journalists, that's really important to get to know team members on, personal levels. Because we only see each other in the classroom. So now that we got to see each other outside and having some fun and, being tired and grumpy together, I think that definitely is going to help build what is to come next.
So even though they say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, we had too good of a time to not share it. With Bear News, I'm Shelly Schwartz.
Thanks, Shelly. Now that was a fun trip.
That was a ton of fun. I saw that modeling that you were doing. Do you think that's your second career path if this whole journalism thing doesn't work out?
No, I'm good. I'll pass on that. Now, what about the golf swing there?
Yeah.
What about that?
Fun fact, I took golf lessons, I think, 2 years in middle school, and I think that was probably the most that I've been able to use from them. And I'd say that I think I have a pretty good shot on the tour if this whole journalism thing doesn't work out for me, at least.
What? I'll pray for you there.
Thank you.
Got the support here.
Cool. Well, the spring semester is finally over. And, well, actually we have a week to go, but it's only finals week. And speaking of finals, make sure you check your course syllabus and double check with your professors on when and where your final will take place. Some finals are online, while others will be in person. And if you wish to withdraw or drop a class, the final deadline is today. Good luck on finals, Bears.
Well, that's all, folks. That is it for our final newscast of the semester.
I can't believe it. It felt like it flew by. Thank you for joining us this semester in Bear News. We would like to thank all of the guests that we've had on the show.
And we'd like to have a big thank you to all of the anchors, the crew, and our professor for all their hard work to make the show great. What do you think, guys?
I think it was a great time. I had a great time with all you guys.
Yeah.
I'm grateful to work with you guys in the booth.
Me too.
I can't believe it's all over and going on to new places. And of course, thank you to all the viewers for putting your trust in me and letting me deliver you some weather forecasts.
Yeah, thanks to you guys. This guy's going all the way to Gulfport, Mississippi.
You're going to Maine.
I know, a pretty far away place too. I've never been there, but I'm pretty excited.
And I mean, I am the only one not graduating, so these old men have to get out of here now.
Wow.
Just saying, yeah. Old men now, go and be adults.
We got our big boy job.
Yeah, we gotta go in the real world now.
Yeah.
All right, well, Bears, I'm Sophia Tavanello.
I'm Drew Peters.
I'm Weatherman Sam.
And I'm Nathan Kitchen.
Bear News anchors, signing off.
Have a great summer, Bears.